So let's talk about the Mirena IUD. I got that on August 1st, 2022. Today's the 18th. So I've had it just over 2 weeks. I was terrified. I was so scared. I had tried tons of different birth control pills over the years, probably at least like 15 different ones. I had just come off of Yaz. I did get it inserted during my menstrual cycle. My OB preferred that. She said that, that's a time when things are kind of shedding and everything, so it would help prevent infection, since that is a rare risk with an IUD placement. So we did that, and I took my husband with me. I kind of kept my hands above my head, and he held my hands the entire time. I don't know, maybe I just wanted to keep them out of the way. But so we did that, and she, you insert the speculum. She does the cleaning with the iodine if you're not allergic to it, and that prevents infection and gets you ready. And then they have to clamp on like these little like plier type things. They're not actual pliers, don't get freaked out, but this little contraption that she puts on your cervix, that actual tissue, and she said, okay, on 3, you're going to cough as hard as you can. And on 3, I coughed as hard as I could, and she clamped it down on there, and I felt it, and I was like, oh, shit. And then I was able to calm down, because it's kind of like, it's that initial sting. It's really not, it doesn't sting. It's the initial, pain of something gripping onto something like that, onto your tissue. It hurts, but it was not the worst pain at all, by far, of this procedure. And by the way, the whole procedure is only 20 seconds. So anyway, she did that, and I was like, okay, we're good. I did that part. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the rest. And then she gets ready and gets the measuring thing. She tells me what she's doing as she's doing it, which I really appreciated. So she gets the little instrument that's going to go up through the cervix and into the uterus. Now, pushing through the cervix, dilating it, all that stuff, that's what really hurts. My uterus is not in any pain at this point. It's the cervix. And she puts it up there and measures. That's when I started yelling. I was like, oh my God. It was so bad. But this is coming from someone with 0 pain tolerance. I have 0 pain tolerance. Okay. I mean that so accurately. I cannot tolerate pain at all. So if you have a pain tolerance, yes, it hurts. But for everyone, it's going to be different. And I've never had children. That's a very important detail, because I know this procedure changes for people who have. It, can be less painful. It can be easier. I've not had that experience. This is the worst thing I've had OB-wise. So anyway, she measures it and finishes that part very quickly. I mean, this is a second or 2. It's just excruciating to me. And then she sets the marker on the Mirena to where it needs to be inserted to. That's why they had to measure. And then she just goes ahead and does it. And she tells me what she's doing as she's doing it. And it was very much appreciated, because I was ready. This is when I vasovagaled down. This is when my blood pressure dropped. I was just bursted into a sweat. I think I woke up into a sweat. Part of me would bet some money that I passed out for a second and wasn't aware, because she keeps saying that she said I was done, and I was asking, are we done, and freaking out and soaking wet with sweat and everything. And she's like, I keep saying that, and you keep asking. I was like, I don't remember her saying that. So chances are I kind of either didn't notice because of how much I was freaked out and in pain, or I did pass out for a second. But I mean, needless to say, you pass out, you won't feel it. So win-win. Not that that's something you want, but anyway, afterward, I sat up, I relaxed. I did not get up and try to leave fast. I was like, no way. I don't want to take a chance on standing up too fast or walking, and my body's like, oh, vagal down, and then I hit the ground, hit my head. That's too much. So I sat there and I drank some Capri Sun and I just relaxed. Like I didn't feel any more like severe pain once she was done. When I started walking to the car eventually, I did have back pain and heavy cramping set in. But by the time I got 15 to 20 minutes back to my house, it was pretty much subsided. So I just sat on my heating pad. I had pre-medicated before the appointment with 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol and 600 milligrams of ibuprofen. Don't take this as medical advice. That is what I did. Always talk to your doctor on what you should do for you. Different medications, interact with different meds and different conditions. So always be careful with that. But this is my experience. And in the 18 days for the first 2 weeks, I've lived on Tylenol and ibuprofen, especially the first week. The second week, I started kind of lowering the amounts I was using drastically. I was alternating 600 of ibuprofen and 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol every 6 hours in the first week. And then I could cut it down a lot to like maybe a dose of 400 milligrams of ibuprofen once a day in the second half of the second week. And now, and when it was like 2.5 week point, I felt like I was not cramping that much, like if at all anymore. So my special self decides to go get a bunch of groceries and lift a heavy thing of water bottles, like one of the extra large packs with the big bottles in it. Please don't do that. I've now had cramping for 2 days and I've been living on ibuprofen. Everything's fine. Everything's in place. It's just unnecessary pain. I should have let myself heal. And here's the thing. I went straight from Yaz, the birth control pill, onto Mirena. I did not have a gap. I did not wait a month or two or anything. My menstrual cycle started in the middle of the Yaz pack. It did not wait to get to the placebos. And then I was having 2 weeks of straight migraines. I was having all my PMDD symptoms come back. It was like starting to fail me. And that's how I felt. And I messaged my OB's office. I was like, we talked about the Mirena. We ordered it already. I want to do it. Can I stop the pill now? Because we had talked about, getting through another pill pack and finishing it out. And then we'll wait till my cycle and I'll call and then we'll pick a day. No, that is not how it went. I was miserable. She said, yes, stop the pill because I was starting to have side effects. It was not good. And that's when I was toward the end of that menstrual cycle that had started. And so then I stopped the pill and I threw myself into a second menstrual cycle. And they were both full-blown, shedding, bleeding. Oh my God. It was so much pain. I had to start all over again. I was so upset. Migraines, cramps. All over again. Why did I not continue into the end of the pack to put that off? Because I was having way too many symptoms. Skyrocketing anxiety, pain, migraines that would not quit, fatigue, heavy brain fog. I was physically sick. I felt depleted. I felt like I had no nutrients left in my body. Like there's not enough water I could drink. I felt like I was on the verge of needing some blood work, like to see what was missing. It was awful. It was so bad. That's just how I felt physically. So then, I went in for the Mirena on the third day of that second menstrual cycle. So my body is really mad. But I have to tell you, while I had the heavy cramping and bleeding and shedding and all that stuff, on that third day of the cycle, the second menstrual cycle, and I got the Mirena placed, that day, within an hour, it all changed. It all changed. It became light. It became thin. It was like, yeah, cramping and everything from the placement and stuff, but it was managed better with medication and heat. Like, everything became easier. I've only had 2 migraines since I've gotten it placed. It's been 18 days and I've only had 2 migraines, not 14 days straight of migraine. So I'm hoping this lasts because it's not been very long, but I'm hoping that this lasts and even only gets better because it's supposed to. So definitely consult your doctor. You can talk to your primary, you can talk to your OBGYN, you can head to Planned Parenthood, find somewhere that someone will be able to talk with you about this option if it's something you're interested in. An intrauterine device does come with symptoms, side effects, and risks. They are more rare, but there are some serious risks of like getting embedded or perforating the uterus, and that can cause its own problems. It does happen. It just happens to fewer people than not. So definitely talk with your doctor. I can't give medical advice despite being a nurse, but talk to your doctor. Yeah, so give me a like and a subscribe, and I will keep you updated on my Mirena IUD.